Hello, welcome to Jacobit's Learning, Cognitive Awareness, and Dementia Care. Let's take a look at some of the exercises we use. Um, this is just this is part of a table, first of all. This is not the whole uh, word search, but it's really good if you have some learners who are not so able. This is just a replica of what one did. See how they left out the word disallow, and that's fine because you're trying to get them to try the best they can. August, we didn't want to show you the actual, because we don't want to share anyone's records, nor, we have FERPA laws, and we also didn't want them to be embarrassed. See their things on the computer. You have pool, they left that one out. This is just quite common that sometimes when they're going, if you're helping somebody, you'll help them find Babel, they can find Apple. Okay, this FinTech. Okay, there are some words over here they miss because this column in particular is a jumble. Okay, like it starts out as if it's going to be August, then there's the word on, and then there's this. Some people who are Canadians know that this word Aussie means also, like it starts Aussie, I'm sorry, AUSSIE means also some of your French Canadians, some people who speak French and who are fluent will start that way. Okay, this word is part of chérie, missing the accent. Like mon chéri, my dear, it's missing. They'll start that. This looks like it's going to be daiquiri, and then it stops. So it gets confusing. This word is only, and the person forgot this. So you have August and sincere. There's a couple they forgot. This was here, and probably what happened, they're not always cognizant, they won't always tell you, is that they forgot to do, they just got tired after looking at it, and that's kind of common too, that a lot of your people in cognitive decline will just get exhausted after you've been doing the first two lines and trying to think, because their mind is now multitasking where they have to remember babble means to talk incessantly. Apple, something you eat, and it just gets confusing. And then ping pong, they might pick up because some of the assisted living centers have ping pong tables. So they might get down to that, and you see there's kind of a jumble if they go across here and across here and across, and then they get tired. They might skip and come all the way over here and do ping pong. So that's quite common. Okay, here's another thing you can do with cognitive awareness, and you can download this. So I'm going to go on to the next slide in case you want to download. Okay, you can make the person or ask the person, do they want to paint the caterpillar's antennas green? Okay, and so you might get them, if you gave them a color palette, you might start out like this. They might get exhausted, their dexterity is gone trying to stay in the lines. And those of you who've watched some of my other videos know I'm not the best artist, nor am I the best person at staying in the lines myself, nor am I best at writing. There we go, case in point. But if you were helping dementia care people, that's something that you would do. And I'm going to start out here, but they could take a crayon, they could take a marker, colored pencil. Sometimes I don't use colored pencils because once one of the people took one home, they had it under their stomach, and we don't make them sharp, but it could also, when they put it like that and forget they put it there, that could also stab them. So I mostly use crayons and markers, something with a soft tip. So you see, you're getting them to do a little exercise. You're also helping them to remember colors, primary colors, and it stimulates. I start out with colors like green, mild blue, not dark blue. I start out with colors like black is kind of bland, white is kind of bland. So you start with a color that will stimulate: green, yellow, red. So you do this, and then you ask them pretty much, let's assume I'm finished with this, would they like to color the body yellow? And then they have to look at what yellow is, and if they make a mistake and keep the green in their hand, at least they're on task. Worst thing you want to do is shout at them You want to tell them, well, you're on task, and if they start coloring this part in green, you continue to let them do so. You can ask them if they'd like to do one half, one color. Ask them if they want to take this and do halves. A lot of times that's a really hard concept for them to get. So if I had this in actual paper, I would fold it over and show the symmetry. The students learn that in algebra, and I'd show the symmetry and have them work it over. Okay, and then you could even have them do yellow. They can do wet brushes or paints. Okay, next thing we do is we try to do math. A lot of people have forgotten their math skills, but you want to keep them stimulated, because we work with somebody who's always asking us, always when we go out, oh, I don't have any money and I have to pay, and we try to explain it's already paid for her. But when we get to a restaurant or something, she gets ready to take out money and we gave her play money. Starts writing things down. So she'll write something like this, and she'll forget, and we'll say, okay, it was $25, but we paid it, don't worry. And then she'll come home and try to figure out how much she's owed. And you'll see she'll be able to do these two numbers, and then she will actually go backwards and do her dollar sign, and then she'll say, I owe you $50. Okay, completely forgetting about this. Okay, 450. And she probably writes better than I do at this point. But that's what generally happens, that the mind sometimes isn't even able to carry over, especially if you tell her, the meal was not $450. Okay, also here, once they write over here 69 cents, they get that confused with being $69 because of where the decimal is. Kind of like something little kids do when you first tell them, if you don't go over units and tenths and all that with them. So they start, adults start going backwards that way too, and you might have to reintroduce units and tens. But these are just examples, because sometimes if you try to teach units and tens the same day, it's too much. And sometimes an elderly person remembers, I went over this when I was a kid, and now they feel, or when I was a child, now they feel condescended, so they won't want to do it. But these are just common things you're looking for, you're recognizing in cognitive decline. Thank you for watching and helping us grow. If you have any questions, contact us at kjacovitz@jacovitslearning.com.